Hello, and welcome to Not Power Hour. This is your host, James. Not telling you my last name. And there's some two other lads who they will introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Calvin, and you also not know my last name. Hello, not Power Hour.
And I'm Cynthia. My last name does not mean card games in Spanish.
Right. Right. So, as I said, not Power Hour. We are Blind 101, where we inconsistently talk about blind people. But this time, we're not going to talk about literal blind people. We'll talk about literary blindness in a specific book in like chapter 22 or something. It's blind for a reason. Don't ask me why. We're just doing it, so live with it. All right. So, y'all explain to me what the hell is literary blindness.
Well, literally blindness is when characters in stories they don't see like the consequences of their actions. Well, they see, but they don't see with their eyes. You know?
Nice. So is it like that funny man, and Naruto, that guy with the 1.5 million episodes? It's like, oh no, why am I bullied? I'm not that strong, but even though he's got a giant like nine-tailed fox monster inside of him, and everyone other than him knows that.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, Cynthia, is there any like other examples potentially of literary blindness?
Ah, I can't think of any. How about you, Cynthia?
Yes. As a matter of fact, another example of literally,
Speech impediments, they
Slow
do feel
down.
like that sometimes.
literally blindness is actually Death Note. When Mr. Light gets his paws on the Death Note, and he doesn't know potential consequences, and the only thing he thinks about is power and killing multitudes of people every day.
So, like, he doesn't have a very good sense of justice, and he thinks, oh, Batman bad, Batman must die.
Yes, he plays God in a sense.
That's interesting.
I'm glad he's not my god.
You know, right?
Yeah, it's not very nice. I prefer not to get like death. Of course, if it was funny, I might tolerate it a little bit more. But also, a tweeter told me something about literary blindness, with something about it appearing more when it's mentioned in like a story or whatever media you're consuming. Is that true by any means?
Right, like a lot of people don't realize, but Lightning McQueen, his entire story is about him realizing just how blind he was because of his racing lifestyle and just embracing the niceties of life.
Man, lovely route of 66.
Okay, so now let's talk about the chapter and the examples used in the chapter of yeah.
The chapter. Okay, let me get this on my virtual device, aka my cell phone.
Just a device.
Seller, not my virtual device. I'm not that gigabrain to have such a thing. Alright, so in that chapter, there was this man. His name was, I cannot pronounce it, Okibus?
Oedipus.
Very thank you. So he did not very good things to his parents, very bad things, in fact, and he did not realize what he did, like marry his mother and had uh, children that were also related to him, not like their siblings, like half siblings, almost. Oh, whack.
Yeah, Oedipus, messed up guy.
Yep.
And the story ends with him becoming literally blind. He gets his eyes poked out.
That's a big yikes. Yeah, I have to interrupt. We have a sponsor. It's the letter E.
Is that like the letter E or is that like the number E?
It can, the corporation wants me to specify specifically. It's the letter E because the number E is confused with another corporation. And,
Oh,
very
okay,
confusing.
of
Yeah.
course. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they tell me to tell you that you all should keep using E in your language. And if you don't have an E in your name, fix that.
Okay.
Oh no.
I am looking through my. Yeah, so thank you, sponsors. Please, we need money, please. Okay, so do we have anything else we want to talk about with literary blindness?
Well, there's a rather classic example of literary blindness that's talked about a lot. It's actually Indiana Jones. Um, yes, because Indiana Jones is portrayed as this like a real brave hero, and at the end, in the middle to end of the film, he has to be scared by snakes. That doesn't make sense because so that they have to do a thing where they foreshadow Indiana Jones being afraid of snakes in the very beginning. And it's very similar to literary blindness because that's like that kind of building around the kind of literary element is very important in literary blindness.
So what you're trying to say is, for the writer not to confuse the reader, they should mention things before something is said. So, like in Indiana Jones, they should probably tell the reader that he's scared of snakes.
Right,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right. That's probably all we have for the time today. Well, so thank you all for listening or watching. Either one. Preferably watching. Looking at my glorious face. And we'll probably see you on another podcast. Probably talking about actual blind people this time. Yeah. Now, bye bye now.
Whoa, you are.